With that, we'll move over to Middle East and Europe to be covered by Bassel.
Thank you, Bhargav. In the EMEA region today, we had around one assist event and 22 other developments. Starting off with the Middle East, over a couple of developments in Iraq, hundreds of supporters of the Shiite cleric Muqtada Sadr held a protest outside the Supreme Judicial Council in Baghdad yesterday. They demanded the dissolution of the parliament over the failure to form a new government. It is important also to note that the Prime Minister Mustafa al-Kadhimi halted his visit to Egypt yesterday and returned to Baghdad following the protest. Also, in the Middle East, in Turkey, the U.S. Treasury warned Turkish corporations of possible sanctions if they continued business activities with Russia. So the U.S. is claiming that the Russian government and businesses are using their relations with their Turkish counterpart to evade Western sanctions. And those are sanctions prompted by the U.S. and the European Union. This is all from the Middle East today. Over to you, Sitati, to cover on Africa.
Thank you, Bassel and Bhargav. Today in Africa, the major issue is yesterday's nationwide protest against the rising cost of living that is in South Africa. And the protests were recorded in major urban areas, including Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Pretoria, among others. And other issues which protesters call on the government to address include the frequent power cuts and the high rates of unemployment. We've got to take into account that yesterday's protests were organized by the two leading trade unions in the country, and these are the Congress of South African Trade Unions and the South African Federation of Trade Unions. And businesses with operations in South Africa need to keep an eye on the activities of the trade unions in South Africa, with the possibility that similar protests could take place in the coming weeks, and also the possibility that the trade unions might organize worker strikes, which could lead to losses of productivity. So that's all from Africa. Back to you, Bassel, to cover Europe. Thank you.
Thank you, Sitati. So the assessed event today in the EMEA region was in Europe, in Germany particularly. German government authorities announced yesterday that they will prioritize coal and oil cargo over passenger travel in case of a looming energy crisis in the country. This means that if any additional fuel supplies are temporarily necessary at some power stations in the country, cargo trains will be mobilized on passenger trains lines, and passenger trains will be temporarily suspended. In case of an emergency crunch in the country, the prioritization of coal and oil cargo over passenger travel will last for 6 months. So the government also approved a set of energy-saving measures to reduce its gas usage following the cut in Russian supplies over the last 6 months following the Russian-Ukrainian conflicts. So the new measures will limit lighting and heating in public buildings, which is expected to reduce gas by 2%. It is also important to note that these measures come after a cut in Russian gas flows via the Nord Stream 1 pipeline to almost 20% of its overall capacity. So these latest measures come amid the seeming possibility of an energy crisis in the coming months. This prioritization option is likely to create severe delays and disruptions in public transportation, particularly train services. So clients are advised to consider alternative means of travel for personnel, such as road and air, and be aware that restricted railway travel for passengers can lead to traffic congestion on roads and long queues. There is also a possibility of potential power cuts and disruptions in the country following the latest developments. This is all from the EMEA today. Thank you.
Thank you, Bassel and Sitati, for the coverage of EMEA region. That's a wrap from us. Please do reach out to us if you need to know more about our membership services at info@apacassistance.com. Thank you.